Welcome to Bold of You to Say. We are back with another episode. Today's show, we're going to go a little bit into VR. Facebook Connect just happened. We're going to talk about that for a little bit. The rest is
we're going to get weird, guys.
We're going to get weird. A lot of tangents. Very entertaining stuff.
I'd like to apologize beforehand, but we're going to address some things that are not okay.
Yeah, trigger warning if you don't want to see Bionicles in a very NSFW context. As always, there will be timestamps in the description, so you can skip to whatever topic you'd like. You can skip over the topics where Jared talks about Bionicles in a very NSFW context.
Remember, only God forgives.
And our social media will be linked in the description, so you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter,
Google Marketplace.
Instagram, Google, yeah. We'll be on where you can follow us on eBay and what other websites are there? We'll have our MySpace linked. I'll have my LinkedIn profile. What else? I'll have a Google Drive folder with all of my credit card information. I think that's it. Yeah, that's all of our social media. That will be in the description.
I don't mean to be going off topic immediately, but I just got a text from my brother. It says I can now claim stock in Apple. It's from a site called Robinhood.
All right, we'll have our Robinhood profiles linked in the description too.
I guess I have stock in Apple now. Yay! I hate Apple so much.
Apple.
No, you should invest in them. I hear they're taking off.
Do you mean over? By off?
They're gonna be big someday.
Fuck off. It is in my opinion that with all the like forays into VR that we're having and stuff, and like all the adaptation that we've done and all this other shit. What is it? The innovations. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. All the innovations we've done with VR and everything. Fairly soon, we are going to have to redefine what the meaning of virgin is.
Someone who hasn't had sex.
Yes, but hear me out. So,
okay.
Take, for example, you see VR chat rooms. You see people, like, fucking around in them and stuff. Now, you know that the bodysuit from Ready Player One?
Yeah.
There's something similar to that in life right now. It's not a bodysuit, it's the haptic feedback shit.
Okay.
In theory, you could probably make something like that.
So,
like a VR bodysuit.
That's more on par with sexting, my guy.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, though. Is like,
you can't lose your virginity sexting.
This is different, though.
But where do we draw the line?
You have to be in someone
that's
living.
Though, Gavin,
a person, consenting
here's the
person.
Thing, though.
That's just your perception, man.
With
you know
VR,
what, you goddamn
they will make sex
stoner.
toys and shit like that. And all this other shit that will simulate it and everything. So, like, if two people hook up in a VR chat room, and they have all these, like, fucking mods and shit on them, does it count?
See, you may not realize this, but this is a philosophical debate on what constitutes reality.
No, it's not even that. It's like, because when you're in VR, like, you're in reality. You're existing within, like, reality. What you're seeing is real. It's just that it's real to the perspective of a computer. That makes it in a perspective that you can see.
Yeah, but with these bodysuits and everything, you'll be feeling everything that you feel in the game.
Okay,
so, like,
but
if you get a blowjob and, like, you know, stuff happens, that will happen.
Are you familiar with the Matrix?
If you get a blowjob in VR, does it still count in real life afterwards?
Here's the thing, though. After you're
this
nut,
is the question,
like,
Alex.
Like, after you're nut,
Gavin,
though, like, won't you, like, electrocute yourself?
No, that's the thing. You'll have to clean up. It's
no, they like coat it in silicone.
Yeah,
it's like a fleshlight.
Like, it's a sex
oh,
thing.
good God. Okay, that's not. You can't lose your virginity that way.
Can you?
So
are
you?
No.
Are you familiar with the 1990 hit The Matrix?
Yes.
Is Neo a virgin?
Are you telling me that everyone in The Matrix is a virgin?
No, because
How?
No. Here, okay, let me explain this. Because
It's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. So you have two actual real life individuals. I'm not saying that the individuals who are doing this on camera aren't like real. I'm just saying like they don't intend to be specifically doing it with you. It's like for a mass media thing.
What do you mean? I donated $5,000. She said it was for me.
You know what, Alex? I don't care about your sexual perversions. If you want to get sexual perverted, go to the Catholic Church.
Got him.
But thank you.
Topical roast there.
But in the Matrix, right, you had two people who were like hooked up to this computer and given like these avatars, right? And they exist and they don't know they're existing within a computer. But either way, when they decide to diddly do it with each other, they are actually making like the conscious decision to diddly do it with each other, even though they don't know they're in a computer. So yes, they are losing their virginity.
Okay, but that's the thing. In the VR situation, it's still the same thing. It's just that it's two living people that know they're in the simulation.
Okay,
but still,
it's not about knowledge of being in or in without a simulation. It's the fact that the original like video, because it goes along with the video, right?
No, I'm not saying it's a video. I'm saying if two people like with their avatars went and fucked in a VR chat room, would it still count?
I thought you meant like
So these are.
I thought you meant
so
like
these are two individuals that can feel everything.
Oh, I got
They feel everything. Like they experience everything that their avatar experiences. Does it count?
You know what, Jared? I think you've won me over. I think I think that's it.
I'm just saying, like,
I mean,
does it count?
Well, like, I feel like it kind of counts.
No.
Like, there needs to be a new word for that. Like, if you do that first before having like,
is this what being a half virgin means?
Like, I've lost my internet virginity, and then
your real life virginity.
Yeah, like your internet virginity.
That's being a nymphomaniac on VR.
I think what we were sent here to do today was draw the line. So where is the line drawn between just fucking a computer and that's like connected to like over the internet to someone else, and then like fucking someone in a virtual space? Because like if you have two people with fleshlights just, you know, independently going at it like on Skype, like that's not sex. But if you are in the Matrix, like in the movie The Matrix, you are jacked into the Matrix, and you get completely fully immersed in here. Like there's literally no distinction between that and reality. Obviously, you're having sex in a virtual environment. But where is the exact point where it becomes sex and not just, you know, sad?
Porn. Wow. Sad.
Man, that's... I mean,
another thing to bring up, though, is, like, with all these, like, more intelligent AIs and shit, like, Microsoft and Google especially have already made, like, AIs on Twitter, like AI bots, that are programmed to learn and shit. It's if they get advanced to the point where you can make one that's like a living person, does that count? Or is that also not real?
I think that, like, whether or not something is sad or not is, like, really up to the society's perspective. Like, for instance, when my parents were teenagers, or not teenagers, but, like, young adults, right? You would get on a dating site because you were a loser who couldn't find an actual person, right? And now we have Bumble and Tinder because we just can't be bothered to get out of the house and meet people. So that's what people just do now. And it's no longer like a sad thing. It's just what you do if you're busy.
It's the natural progression of the world.
Exactly.
What's going to happen?
I wouldn't go that far, man. I wouldn't go that far yet.
No, it is. It is. It's going to be just
dating
like...
sites used to be for lonely people. Now they're for people that fuck.
That's true.
Everyone's just too lonely.
They're just like, hey man, I don't want to like get kidnapped by someone. Hi, can we just do it over the internet?
Can we just do it over the internet?
Can you kidnap
All right, so are you familiar
internet?
with the TV show Black Mirror?
Listen, man, I don't like the tone in which you use the word black.
So
yeah, Alex, what are you trying to imply?
Alex, what are you trying to say here, man?
Yeah.
Okay, are you familiar with the hit TV show
No,
African American
don't change
Mirror?
the topic, man. What
Thank you.
were you trying to say there?
No.
Are you familiar with N-word mirror?
I'm not.
N-word mirror. No, now we're going somewhere else with this.
So, have you heard of the show Black Mirror?
I have not.
So, are you familiar with the Twilight Zone?
I am.
So, Black Mirror is kind of like a modernization of the Twilight Zone. Each episode, it's like an anthology series where like each episode is kind of like its own little like sci-fi kind of universe. It's like, you know, reality, but like something is different. So like, for example, in one episode, there's an episode where everything is pretty much the same, but it's like a few years in the future. So like technology is advanced a bit. So now VR is like way more immersive, and it's like just this thing that it's like a little tiny, like, I guess like microchip size kind of thing that you like put on your head, and it like transports you into a game pretty much like the Matrix. And so this dude gets it, and his friend gets the same game. It's like a Street Fighter kind of game where like you go in and you're like this avatar, and you know it's a fighting game. But these two friends realize that like you can do a whole lot more than just fight in this game.
Yeah.
Do you get where I'm going with this?
I get it, yeah.
Are you saying about Mortal Kombat, but you can fuck?
Yep. So one of them is a hot anime guy, and the other is a hot anime girl. And they're like, man, you're kind of hot as your avatar. Yeah. And so they get to it, and they're like, it's not gay. It's not gay. One of us is a girl. It's not gay. It's not gay. Okay. All right.
100% is.
Okay. I don't
like,
even
okay,
think,
next round we're just gonna duke it out, and then they like,
and they fuck again.
They fuck again, and they get like addicted to it. They like kind of develop like a connection, and it like becomes a serious problem. Like they spend like, I think one of them has like a family, but the other doesn't. So the guy that like has a wife and kids, he's spending so much time away from them that his wife was like, this is a problem. Like, what's going on? And it comes out that like he's fucking his best friend in this virtual world. And he's like, honey, it's not cheating because it's just a video game. But like, is it cheating? And then like, I think they end up getting together at the end. They like make out like IRL.
What was this again?
This was an episode of Black Mirror. You can watch it on Netflix if you want. I don't remember the title of the episode, but to our viewers at home, go watch it. It's
to our viewers at home, please. I need to know.
It's kind of hot.
So, okay, I'm gonna say something controversial. I don't think traps are gay.
I mean,
yeah, I mean that depends on your like definition of what gay is. And,
like, okay, personally, I'm not gay, but like, if you're doing,
would you fuck a trap?
If you're doing something like in a sexual manner, or someone in a sexual manner, and they're dressed up like a girl, and you like that, then that means you're not gay, because you like girls, right? Or maybe some people are like attracted to the kink of like, ooh, this dressed up like a she's dressed up like a girl, but they're actually a guy. I don't know.
Yeah, I think traps prove that no one is 100% straight.
You know, maybe John Lennon was right. Maybe we're all inherently bisexual.
Yeah, it just depends on how much, you know, it's like a spectrum, man.
Or that
you
was
can be
Freud.
like 97% straight, but that 3%, that little sliver, that's where the drag queens fit.
I think that just turns into kink, man. Like you're just like, you're 99% straight, but the 1% is like, but maybe a guy.
Well, I've been on the internet long enough to know that there's some dudes that make pretty hot chicks.
Oh my god.
Now, is it gay to fuck them in VR?
Now we are asking the good questions.
Because you're under the impression, at least like every physical indication indicates that they're a female.
Well, all right. So I think we've stumbled upon a new way to solve homophobia. Because
I just feel because I feel like if you're a homophobe,
we trap
and you're
every straight man in VR.
In the Matrix, you mean?
Yes, in the Matrix, and they fall in love with this beautiful woman, and then it's like I'm a dude, and then he's like, I get it now, and that's how we solve homophobia.
Wait, how about this? We get them in the Matrix, right? We make them all believe that they're. Oh no, because there's no way that would work. I was thinking like we make them all believe that they're men, right? And then like through the observation of other men, like a couple of them would look female, and a couple of them would look actually like they're men. And so like they would start like, but they're all like actually men, right? So they would fall in love and like with each other and stuff. But here's the thing: if you're a guy and another person's interpreting you as a girl, and they go, "Wow, you're really beautiful," they go, "What do you mean by that?"
Men can be beautiful. Don't discriminate.
You know what?
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm beautiful.
You know the Romans were like believed in male beauty, right? They were like, "Hey guys, like girls are awesome, but this guy has a six-pack, and I'm not like attracted to that, but I like looking at it. That's really fun to look at."
Those are some real cum gutters he's got there.
Guys, six-packs on men are like they're just like six breasts.
It's like appreciating modern art without understanding it.
So it's like modern art.
Yes, male beauty is like modern art.
I mean, guys, you know modern art.
I don't understand it, but I appreciate it.
Modern art is just a way for rich people to not pay taxes.
I mean, probably.
You know what I mean? Like, so they give like some artist that's not well known like $10,000 to staple a banana to some cardboard, and they're like, "This is art now. I'm going to tell my rich friends that this is art," and they're going to pay $2.5 million for it. So they do that. And then, because they donate some of the proceeds to charity, it gets written off as a tax write-off.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of, like, it's crazy hearing about all kinds of different ways rich people avoid taxes that you just wouldn't think of. And that's one of them. My favorite thing, though, is when people, like, buy into that. Like people that aren't rich that do that. People that don't do it for tax evasion, but do it for the sense of superiority.
Oh, right.
My favorite thing is seeing like articles that are like, "This is why the public doesn't understand why a white canvas is the best art."
They don't understand the deep meaning behind this straight line.
Dude, I have a giant white canvas in my house. It's called a wall. And I just stare at it sometimes, and you know what? I feel nothing but intense depression when I do
Cut it off your house and take it to New York. You'll be rich.
Bro, you can like auction that.
You go to New York and then sell your house in Michigan and be like, "This is actually modern art, guys. It's actually like every wall is a piece of modern art."
If you like duct tape like a shingle from your roof to a canvas, someone will buy it for $10,000.
Eventually.
Draw a dick in the middle of the basement.
Guys, just put it on like
the anatomy of the human body.
Just put it on like GoFundMe. You know that guy who was like, "I want to make potato salad. Can you fund this?" And then people kept on donating to the point where it got to like $60 million.
Yeah, I believe it.
Have you guys heard of that story? And so he's a cool dude because he ended up donating like a bunch of the money to like feed the poor and stuff. And then he actually like had a party and where he had like a bunch of potato salad. So like I respect that. But like just do that, but with modern art.
And you keep the money.
And you just keep them, yeah. And then like poor people should start doing that and then donating the money to charities and being like, "Hey government, I wrote it off as a charitable donation. Can you give me a tax exemption?" See, we can get back at the man, guys.
Oh, I have an idea. Have it also be a charity set up in your fake name that has no connections to you. Like, create a separate human being.
That's
like
illegal.
Really get into like illegal. Yeah,
that's
so
super ridiculously illegal.
Okay,
it's called identity
is that going
fraud.
to stop me? Is that going to stop me, Gavin?
Well, I guess the rich like actively fuck over people illegally and get away with it. So I don't see the issue, frankly.
Exactly. So let's do it. Let's make Jerry Mafoofs a legal citizen of the United States.
Hey, so while we're on the topic of rich people and like tax evasion and stuff, are you familiar with the app Quibi?
I'm not.
Not really. I've heard of it before. I don't remember why.
Back around March, like at the start of the pandemic, Quibi came out as this new streaming service. And it's the whole shtick of it is that it's for people that are like on the go. So every show on Quibi is split into like 10-minute episodes, and you can watch it either like horizontally or vertically on your phone, and only on your phone. Like they only just added like Chromecast support like a month ago. So they got like a lot of like A-list actors to do shows for this. Like they got like Chrissy Teigen to do a court show, and they got like a whole bunch of people to do shows for this. Like, and they put like a whole bunch of money into it. It failed, of course. Like it didn't do nearly as well as anyone hoped it would, because it's a mobile only streaming service in a time that no one is on the go. Yeah, everyone's at home watching stuff on TV, so you can't watch anything on your TV. And do you want to know how much money was invested into this?
How much?
All
right. I want you to give a guess, like a ballpark estimate for how much.
20 million.
Okay. Jared, what's your guess?
143.7 billion.
Well, that's a little high. No, so Jeffrey Katzenberg and Meg Whitman put $1.8 billion
Jesus Christ.
into Quibi.
I was closer.
You were. I thought it was going to be like, Jared, you idiot. Who would pay $1 billion for this? And then
it was free
wrong.
for 3 months. It was free for 3 months. You could get a 90-day trial. So pretty much no one paid for it. And they got all these Hollywood stars to do shows for it. They put a bunch of money into it. It was co-started by Disney's former chairman. Like, so like this guy is like
money.
This guy's been around. He knows how the industry works. He was the chairman of Disney from 1984 to 1994. So like this guy's not like some dumb startup guy.
Maybe there's a reason he was the chairman for only 10 years.
So what I'm kind of getting at is like, I think Quibi was like some kind of tax dodge or something. Like I think there was some kind of money laundering going on.
Quibi was charity work.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but the only thing that justifies Quibi's existence is it being a tax scheme.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's no way this was like an actual thing people thought was going to work out.
Can I go on a big rant about government real quick?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. We're all millennials. Or no, we're Zoomers, aren't we?
We're Gen Z.
This really annoys me a lot.
Terrorists.
When like older like boomers are like, why don't we just privatize all the stuff that the government does? This is my comeback to that. So like in economics, there's an idea that goes everything equals, meaning that if you get money for something, right, and you know, other things happen with your business that allows you to grow capital and income and stuff, other things like the operation of your business will equal out that money and equal out your checkbook, right?
Yeah.
So when people say, why don't we privatize everything? It would make everything so much cheaper and more efficient. It's like, yeah, but other things equal. So like the amount of money you'd be paying in taxes, granted, would go down, but the amount of money you'd be paying these private corporations would still like go up. It would still be there. You still have to pay that amount of money. It's not like it would be cheaper. It's just it would be someone else doing it.
Well, that adds overhead.
What does that mean?
So for
It's like
instance,
a blowjob that goes over you.
For instance, in healthcare, if you keep healthcare privatized like it is now, there's a lot of money that you're spending that goes to like insurance companies and like people that work in insurance, and then only like a chunk of it goes to your actual healthcare.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like Medicare, the amount of money that goes to administration is way smaller.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's true with many other businesses.
Yeah, I'm just talking about like when it comes to funding public schools and roads and like all that other stuff, like the stuff that's not that complicated to take care of. You know what I mean? And
well, yeah, it's still with schools and roads, you know, there's going to be more money that goes to the like all kinds of overhead, like investors and stuff. You know, there's going to be more hands in the pot, if that's a metaphor.
Yeah, I mean, if you get like a contract, like because the government does contract like companies to make roads, so in a sense it's already slightly privatized, but they're talking about like eliminating the government almost completely and just having it all privatized. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The other issue with that is, you know, if you have the government contracting businesses to make roads, that's fine. But like if you have a private entity that handles all of like the road work and stuff, there's going to be more cost cut, and there's obviously going to be like tolls and stuff, because a business's imperative is to make money and profit, to profit. But a government's imperative is to just get a working road.
And I think like a good example of this idea is like with ambulance, right? So like if you have a heart attack and you call an ambulance, usually what happens is the ambulance is a part of the hospital, which is a private business, basically, right? So when the ambulance comes and picks you up, right, you're flipped with a bill for the ambulance ride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It used to be that an ambulance ride was paid for by the government, right? It was a government thing, like with fire departments and police departments, right?
And that's also how it is elsewhere in the world.
Exactly. But now what we're seeing are people like having heart attacks, right? And they get a ambulance ride to the hospital, and they're flipped with this like $15,000 bill for this ambulance ride, you know? And that's the issue, in my opinion, with just privatizing everything, right? If you have a society that pays taxes into making sure things are getting done for the public good, like ambulances, right? It only costs the taxpayer like 20 cents per ambulance ride. It's not like ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's my quarrel. That's all I got.
Thank you for
sharing. And if you have the American people as one whole entity paying for stuff like ambulances and healthcare, that drives the cost per person down. Meanwhile, if you had it so every individual had to pay for their ambulance ride, the cost goes up, because you're only one person trying to go against this whole system.
Yeah. And of course, that idea doesn't like just apply blankly to everything. It's kind of a simplification for one main issue, but like,
right, it works in certain industries.
I just
stuff
disagree
that's like needs. It works with needs.
And like, I just disagree with the idea that when people say, "Oh, the government's just inefficient," it's like, no, it's not that it's inefficient. You just don't fund it enough. You know, if you have a car that's broken, and you hire the cheapest person to fix your car, chances are it's not going to run the best, and chances are it's not going to run like it used to. You know what I mean? So like,
yeah.
Like, of course, if you don't take care of the government and make sure it's well maintained and make sure it's running properly, of course it's going to be inefficient. What are you expecting? If you cut taxes and you cut costs, of course it's not going to run efficiently.
Well, yeah, that's what I don't get about Republicans when they try to like they they give all these tax cuts to like billionaires and stuff, and then they're like, well, why don't we have as much money in the government? It's because of the Democrats. It's the fucking Democrats spending money on poor people. Well, it's like,
oh yeah,
you gave up money from rich people.
Yeah, exactly. It's like how dare us want to put money into helping the common good?
Yeah,
well,
and helping our society.
That's not what you're supposed to do. Like from the earliest ages, we are beaten into our head by schools and stuff that you need to look out for you, and you need to like make sure that you are the one that comes on top and shit. And it's like this like horrible fucking idea and everything.
Well,
like,
it's like
look at
I don't
how
know
the
about
world
that.
is nowadays.
They're trying to
No, I
compound
would
in our
say
head.
it is, because look how the world is nowadays. People will literally kill each other over things that they don't want to do because they find it uncomfortable.
Well, hey, that's grown-up stuff. When you have like kids in kindergarten, they're taught to share their toys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But now that coronavirus happens, you can't.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
In kindergarten,
But that's
it's
different.
like...
Can't even share saliva anymore.
Yeah, why can't I just jizz everywhere anymore?
Do we stop telling kids that you need to care for each other and share and start focusing on like only caring for yourself and don't let anyone get in your way? You're the one that has to achieve success.
I
think that starts around senior year.
I feel like that really...
it's disgusting. It absolutely is.
I feel like they're really trying to embed in our heads the idea of the American dream, which is something that I think is just a giant catch-22 nowadays. Like before in the 50s, it was like it's within a feasible amount of work that you could get a car and get a house and support your family while also supporting a social life and also living within a means of comfort with one job, right? That you can work at for 50 years and eventually retire comfortably.
The pursuit of happiness.
Exactly. But nowadays that whole pursuit is like borderline impossible, and it's become a giant catch-22 of like jobs require you to have a place of residence to be hired, right? So you need a job so you can live, so you can keep your job.
Yeah.
You
can
know what I
find
mean?
prime examples of that if you go to r/RecruitingHell on Reddit. There's all kinds of like screenshots of like emails and like LinkedIn posts from companies that like it's like peering into a dystopian world with how much companies are like, yeah, so like we see that you're applying for a lot of different jobs, and frankly we don't like that. We only want you to want to work with us, okay? We want you to care about our company in particular.
Oh, dude.
And frankly, I think it's very rude that you would ask how much you're going to be paid. Actually, you know what? You shouldn't get paid at all now. You know, we're not going to pay you. This is an unpaid position
You're
now.
hired and we're not paying you. You're fired. Get out of here.
You're hired and your job is we spit in your face.
So let me get this right. It's not good for the government to care about its common good, but it's okay for a company to care about its common good.
Yeah.
Like, am I wrong on that? Like, that sounds incredibly communist. Of like, you're working here, making minimum wage, so that we can keep the common good of a McDonald's.
Well,
right?
the common good being the CEO's salary.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. You see, that's the difference. We're all working to keep one guy on top. So
yeah,
we're good.
God.
America is saved, everyone.
Jeez. Well, what gets me is like for instance, I'm thinking about getting a drone piloting license, right? But any job that requires you to have a drone piloting license wants you to have at least 5 years of experience. But that's like every job, right?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to get 5 years of experience, like paid experience, without having the job?
Yeah, I hate it so much when entry-level positions are listed, and it's like, yeah, you have to have 5 to 7 years of experience in this field for this entry-level position.
Fucking entry?
If I have 5 to 7 years of experience with this job, why am I looking for an entry-level position that might not even pay?
Yeah.
I've seen so many LinkedIn job postings that are like, this is a volunteer position, but like you have to commit 10 to 15 hours a week and you have to have 5 to 7 years of experience.
Just post
for this volunteer position.
When will I get paid?
Well, I think that's why they have internships, which are basically like the modern day equivalent of an indentured servitude.
Oh God.
I hate internships so much. Just the idea of working somewhere and like
not getting paid.
The audacity to say that they're gonna pay you with experience.
No, but here's the thing: to be labeled as an internship, right? Has to either one, give you like a base salary, right, where they pay you as an intern, or two, promise you a job in the future after your internship.
Paying the poor,
right?
A horrible thing.
If you're gonna post an unpaid position, like that, it should be treated as like an apprenticeship, and like you get lodging and you get to like study under this person and like learn all of their knowledge, and then you get to like spread your wings and have your own work on your own and make a decent living. But they should cover everything, right? If they're not going to pay you, at least they should give you lodging.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
But no, Alex, you're asking for too much. A person to let you into their own home so you can learn the trades that they want to teach you.
Right?
How dare you?
Oh, right.
How
and
dare
like
you, Alex?
Like their audacity of me being like, hey, so I want to work for your company. I think it'd be really fun, but I also want to eat food and live in a house with air conditioning, running water, and heating and cooling. Can that be done? And they're like, how dare you even ask us that? Also, we want you to work for 15 hours for free.
There's one screenshot of a job posting that I saw that I'm looking for it right now, but it's gold. It was like saying you have to, it was basically like the equivalent hours of like a part-time job. But like it takes up enough of your time that like if you're working full-time and doing this, you're not going to have any time for yourself. And it's a paid position, but it's $100 a month.
Jesus.
I was a PA on a movie set like a year and a half ago, and I wasn't paid because I was still in school and I couldn't commit, to being there full time. Yeah, but I still wanted to be there for like the experience. And it was a fun time. But if I was able to commit to doing that full time and do the many hours that it would have taken out of my schedule, it would have been I think it was like $200 a week.
That's not terrible.
But
that's more than I make.
That's not terrible if you're working like a 9 to 5.
Oh.
But
it was more like a 9 to 9.
It was more like up to 20 hours a day.
Jesus Christ.
Like the other PA that I kind of became friends with him over the course of, working together. He was telling me about how like he gets paid that much. Like the amount that you get paid doesn't change depending on how much you work. He was seriously like working for them up to 20 hours on one day. And it got pretty close to that amount of hours on a lot of other days. There were no short days.
Yeah.
Working on that set.
Damn. Thank you, corporate America. So yeah, I'm thinking about getting a drone piloting license because I really enjoy flying my remote control plane.
Do it.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing that and then seeing if I can't get like maybe an internship. I might actually reach out to Mr. Mills or something to see if there's any companies that are hiring.
So are you looking more for like drone videography or like bombing
just
weddings?
In general, like drone videography? I would like to do photography. Really anything just involving flying something and taking pictures or taking a video. And like I really want to experiment.
It's pretty cool stuff. I have a friend that had a drone a few years ago and I got it stuck in his tree. Fun times.
Oh damn! I got my RC plane stuck in a tree too. And then I was walking up to it and I was trying to like move the ailerons to knock it out of the tree, and then it actually fell out and flew back to me. So it was pretty good time. But I'm gonna see if I can't like reach out to Mr. Mills or something and be like, hey, do you know of anyone who's hiring or something?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And maybe they'll if I can like do an internship, maybe they'll help me with the drone piloting license test or something.
Okay, so I'm scrolling through r/RecruitingHell, and I'm looking at a post. It says preferably looking for 9+ years experience Java candidate with AWS experience. Skills.
What's AWS?
I don't know. I think it's computer stuff.
Okay.
Skills. Senior level, 5+ years, strong Java and Spring Boot AWS must. And then it lists a bunch of other musts. Seniority level, entry level.
Why would
you have to
anyone do
have
that?
10 years of experience for this entry level position.
Why would anyone do that? Is my question.
It's fucking economy, man.
Gotta do what you gotta do. I just made a flying thing just now.
Nice.
Yeah, it's out of coffee stirrers and saran wrap.
That's pretty epic.
It flies like shit. I'm not gonna lie. It flies like absolute dog shit. I'm trying to get like the center of mass and center of lift lined up, but it's like really difficult.
For Christmas, not a few years ago, like 10 years ago, when I was like a wee lad, I got a Star Wars Jedi Starfighter remote control like helicopter thing.
Yeah.
And it was so fun for 2 minutes.
And then it broke.
You see, what happened was my mom likes to decorate our Christmas trees with a lot of tinsel.
Oh, God.
And you see, if you fly an RC helicopter near a tree with a lot of tinsel on it, it's never going to end well. I never got it to fly again.
Oh, God. I actually just fixed my RC plane. What was wrong with it?
Keep it away from tinsel.
Yeah, no, it was just tinsel, man. But what was wrong with it was it had a motor mount malfunction, and so one of the gears wasn't lining up with another gear. Tighten it or something, and I fixed it, and it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
God, I cannot find that job posting that pays $100 a month. And like at the bottom of the post too, it was like, it was asking like, do you understand that you need to commit this many hours? Do you understand that this is what you'll be doing? Do you understand that it pays $100 per month? And like it felt condescending, but like it also felt like they were trying to like warn you, like, do you understand how fucked you are?
Right, totally.
So, continuing with the show. So as I mentioned at the start of the show, Facebook Connect happened as of recording 2 days ago. We're recording on the 18th. So we actually know all about the Quest 2 and everything. So there were a lot of interesting announcements outside of Oculus, like outside of the Quest 2. So Facebook announced what they're working on. It's called Project Aria. It's basically like the Edith classes from Spider-Man Far From Home. So it's they're doing a lot of AR research, and it's not ready for consumers yet. They're still like mapping everything out. But basically what it's going to end up being.
Pause that thought for a second, Alex. Gavin,
yes?
Have you heard of a movie called They Live Before?
I've heard of it, but I forget everything about it.
The movie with Roddy Piper. He plays the main character. The whole plot of it is the guy wears special glasses that show what the real world's like, and there's like aliens everywhere and shit.
Oh, was it a Doctor Who episode?
Yeah, they also did that, but that wasn't a Doctor Who episode. No, the original premise was a movie. I think it was a
Twilight Zone thing.
Fuck. It's not. No, it's not Twilight Zone. It was made by the guy that did The Thing, and Escape from New York. What's his name? Fuck.
His name was Fuck?
His name was Fuck.
Was it Stanley Kubrick's The Thing? No, that's not right. That's not right at all.
Hi there, my name is Fuck.
Fuck. Who made The Thing?
Nice to meet your acquaintance. Fuck here.
Someone made it, and Jared, you were saying?
But either way, these glasses are basically the glasses from They Live, in which they'll show you what real reality is like. Are you ready for a good time?
Sure.
Just do it.
So back to what Project Aria actually is.
I want to modify someone's glasses to be like that. It's going to be funny.
So these glasses,
freaking out.
These glasses use cameras. They have cameras on them that see basically what you see, and they can like track your eyes and stuff, so like they can tell what you're looking at. And the practical application is it can like give you more information on stuff that you're looking at. It maps your environment. It can like it can remember like where you left your keys.
Pasta. It can kill a man if you want it to. It can cure your cancer. It can eat an apple.
It gives you access to the entire Stark fleet of drones.
Yeah.
Basically.
It lets you remain in the army if you have taken an arrow to the knee. I'm glad you guys like that one. That's all I got.
So these glasses, they can do all kinds of things. One example is they said in the demo video, like, yeah, if it can see that you're holding your keys, and it can see like where you set them down, and if you forget where they were, it can remind you like, hey, you left them on the coffee table, that kind of stuff. It maps the world around you, and it basically is like your assistant, and like it gives you more information, like basically like a smartphone, but it can see more of what it can give you more context, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Before or after they steal all of your information?
That's the thing.
Actually, getting to that, where they lost me in the demo video was when it said it maps your world and it can map the inside of your house.
So the cops can take all of your things.
Now, Facebook has had a lot of issues with data and privacy. And they expect us to believe that they will map our entire world, look through our eyes, map what we are looking at. And we're supposed to believe that that data is all secure. They say that it's like anonymous, and like they blur faces and license plates.
Until like someone takes out the script and the code that actually blurs out the faces.
Exactly. It runs it through a filter, so it can tell that you're looking at a face or a license plate. So who's to say that someone can't hack that, or they can just internally say like, okay, so this particular person actually do store what license plates and faces they look at. Okay, we're kind of trying to keep tabs on them.
Yeah, right.
Here's the thing that I want to try. Will the glasses only work if they're on your face, or will it be working 100% of the time?
You have to say, I, Spider-Man, give Quentin Beck permission to use my Edith glasses.
Fuck off. No, but like seriously, is there a feature that you can turn it off, or is it like on 100% of the time, even when you're not wearing them?
I do not know. I don't think it's really far enough to get into those kinds of details, because it's really not ready for consumers yet.
Because here's my idea. Hear me out. Get a computer, set it up to stream, and then just show it nothing but like the worst side of like DeviantArt. And then Facebook will have all of that information, and then it will see what happens.
You know,
Jared, I'm sure they already have your search history.
Yeah, okay, they have my search history, and you want to know what my search history is?
Your mom.
I'm
Hitler
trying to remember
in a
the
bikini?
exact... No, well, yeah, but I'm trying to remember the exact like searches you saw on it, but it's.
I just had a really weird mental image, my guy.
Where it's like Homer Simpson death, Home Depot, Homer Simpson ex Hitler fan fiction or some shit like that. No, Hitler fan fiction.
Excuse me?
You don't remember that? You typed H on my phone, and that's the top 3 results were Homer Simpson death, Hitler fan fiction, and Home Depot.
Now that you mention it, yes, I do remember.
The 3 most important things to have in your search history. That's what Facebook has to deal with. That's why all of my ads are weird. And I love it.
Wait, what's that Google thing called again? That Facebook thing called
Aria.
again?
I almost said Edith. It's a
What's it
Project
called?
Aria.
And it's
Aria?
Facebook doing it, not Google.
I know, I'm sorry. You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Aria is watching you now.
That was beautiful.
It's making
you're
a
still
list,
going.
checking it twice. Gonna find out who's
Map in
naughty
your
and
house.
nice. Aria is coming to town. It sees you when you're sleeping. It knows when you're awake. It knows if you've been bad or good, so be good for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Aria is watching you now.
That was beautiful. Thank you for that. Now, if I may be so bold, in the entirety of Facebook Connect, especially the part about Project Aria, it was basically like point for point, like the prologue for a dystopian novel.
No,
like
that's
they
the
might
thing.
as well
Several
they might as
things
well have
are
gotten the
basically
architect
that.
from the Matrix to do the Aria announcement.
So you can use big words that no one will understand, not even him.
Ergo, we will map your house, and then therefore we will have all of the access to all of your deepest, darkest secrets. And ergo, Facebook Horizons is actually the first iteration of the Matrix. Ergo, you will be replaced by a robot.
Ergo.
Look at the camera and they go, Jonathan, we know about Jessica.
I'm just excited though. I can't wait for Facebook to reveal the Zuckerborgs. There we go. Got a chuckle. I mean, this current unit is not doing too well. Alex says that when he was doing the VR thing, he looks human. But that's just because VR has like lower resolution than a computer. Everyone else could tell that his skin was decaying at a more
I will say
rate than it should have.
When I was watching Facebook Connect for the first part, Daddy Zucc was in it, and he was talking about like how awesome Facebook is and stuff. And when I was watching in VR, you kind of looked human. Kind of looked like he was a real life person. I gotta say,
in the VR video,
the new firmware is doing wonders.
Normal. But Alex, in VR, your resolution isn't as high as it is on a flat screen because it's like you have to be kinder to the eyes.
The Quest 2 is going to have a 50% higher resolution than the current Quest, so like maybe then we'll see all of his pores and how they're filled with hatred.
Not pores. You'll see the seams where the skin's loosely stapled together. You might be able to see underneath the skin in some spots where the wires and gizmos are moving.
He's like, so Jared, you know Goosebumps, right?
Oh yeah, he's definitely a monster from one of them.
Specifically, he's like the one episode where like the kids are, I barely remember it. I had this episode on one of my Goosebumps DVDs, but like they were at this like studio where like all kinds of like monster costumes are made for like movies and stuff. And then they're like, "Whoa, that's so cool and creepy." And then they like start coming to life and like attacking them. Like that's what Zuckerberg is. He's just a Hollywood monster costume brought to life.
Yeah.
Sounds like my Friday night. I'm funny, haha.
Haha, got him.
Got him. Your mom. Dude, my comedic genius is so good. I'm making Jared come.
Yeah,
Comedic.
It's the other kind of fluid that comes from the pee hole. Blood.
You need to go to a doctor, Jared. I'm concerned for you.
Yeah.
An apple a day keeps them the fuck away.
Jared, I think you need to cut back on apples.
No.
Wait, so if an apple a day keeps the doctor away, 2 apples a day gives you basically health. 3 apples a day gives you the power to lift cars. 4 apples a day makes you a god.
Nah, 2 apples a day just like cancels it out, and the doctor comes to like pull the other one out real quick because you're choking. Trust me, I know.
No, the way it works is 1 apple per day keeps the doctor away for that day. if you eat 7 apples, it keeps them away for a week. I'm on the monthly plan, so I eat anywhere from 28 to 31 apples on the first of the month, and then I'm good.
It's like a snake.
You walk in, the doctor goes.
The doctor comes in to check my prostate. He becomes Thanos.
He checks your
He gets
prostate and he's
dusty
like,
because I ate an apple before.
he checks your prostate. He's like, dude, there's like this weird mass in your prostate. We should probably get that checked out. And it's like, no, it's an apple. I misunderstood. I thought wrong hole. Sorry.
Why is my arm
it's like
dissolving?
The scene at the end of fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark. His face is melting off. Oh no!
It's funny that you guys are talking about apples. I have an apple sitting on my desk right now. I just thought that was important to mention.
I ate so many apples to the point where I kind of hate them nowadays. I like the taste of them. I just don't like putting them in my mouth anymore.
That's what she said. That's the same with me and Taco Bell quesadillas.
Oh yeah.
Like I've eaten so many of them that I'm like I can't.
Now, what do you eat if you want to keep a Dr. Vampire away?
An apple garlic vinaigrette sauce.
Ooh. Actually sounds
good.
Kind of decent, actually.
It is. I
Sounds
made one.
tasty,
I
actually.
filled it like a Molotov cocktail. When they come by, I throw it at them. The fire keeps them away. They fear it.
What about a vampire doctor werewolf?
You just shoot them. Just get a silver bullet.
So,
what wouldn't kill them?
Vampire Doctor Werewolf, same as a Vampire Doctor, but then you shoot him in the heart with a silver bullet.
That's the
Right.
the stake through the heart and the silver bullet to the heart are some of the dumbest reason. Like, this is their only weakness.
When you said
this is the only way to kill them. It's like, yeah, who
That's
wanted to
everyone's
kill?
weakness.
Jared, I
Like-
misunderstood you there at the beginning. I thought when you said steak to the heart, I thought you meant like a cooked steak.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Throw
that's
it at
also
them
my
and
No, he meant
throw
raw.
it at them with high enough velocity that it just goes right through their heart.
I mean, that would kill someone.
Right.
Imagine punting a stake through someone's chest with such force it explodes through
Nice.
them.
Can I say a really mean joke?
You know what?
So,
Yes,
do you think
say
if
it.
like a special needs kid tried to like throw a steak at Dracula, like a cooked steak, because he misunderstood what they meant by steak to the heart, he would just
Or take
like
his head
kind
off.
of he would just kind of lay down and pretend to die because he just feels bad. Like, do you think he's just like, you know what? He didn't have a good time in school. Kids bullied him. Just give him this one thing. And he looks at the parents and is like, "I'm sorry."
Yeah.
Oh no! My only weakness, steaks.
Oh no, Trump steaks. Oh no, not even the good
Oh.
kind.
I am dead. Oh.
Then the whole town has to throw a parade for this kid because
Because
he thinks
Dracula.
he killed
And it's
Dracula.
like a
And then-
Make-A-Wish Foundation.
They put him in the history
It's like
books. They don't know when to stop with the charade. Like he's long dead, but they
Mhm.
still throw the parade for him every year. Like, yeah, this kid killed Dracula. Don't.
Don't tell him
Man,
that.
the Van Helsing reboot's sounding kind of lit.
But like,
No, I think werewolves and vampires are a lot more easy to kill than they let
Well,
on.
I mean, yeah, okay. I always hate that because it's like I shot Graham in the heart with a silver bullet and it killed her. She must have been a werewolf. It's like, fuck off!
yeah, no
No!
shit. Sherlock.
No, I bet that you could kill a vampire or a werewolf in any number of ways, but like people are so uncreative that they just stopped at stakes
Dude,
and
just
silver
give
bullets.
the werewolf an injection of of dissolved silver.
Or like bleach.
My favorite one is witches are burnable. That's why they burn them at the stake all the time. But here's the thing about that. You had to add extra pitching and like kindling wood just because a person wasn't able to burn fast enough for you to be convinced it was a witch. Also, yeah, fire kills anyone.
It's like that scene from Monty Python.
Yeah.
Who are you that is so wise in the ways of science?
I'm a whale biologist.
I love Ben DeVere.
I love that movie so
Beautiful.
much.
Wait, what movie is that?
Monty Python.
Monty Python and the
Yeah.
Holy Grail.
Oh yeah. I was
Literally the
trying to.
best Monty Python movie.
I was
I'll
just
fight
trying
anyone who
to.
disagrees.
I was trying to do a Futurama skit there. Do you guys remember the whale biologist scene?
Mm,
No, I don't. I haven't watched
It's
a lot
like,
of Futurama.
Yeah. Well, you can go to hell then. So
wow, Jesus.
I really like Futurama, but
We're owl exterminators.
we're owl or like you can trust me. I'm a whale biologist. Have you guys seen
Okay,
that?
I do kind of vaguely remember that. You can trust me. I'm a whale biologist. Was this the one where Kip accidentally drops his bracelet that he bought for Amy inside a whale?
Yeah.
Okay, I know what you're talking about now. It's they get like $300 free from Nixon, yeah?
Everyone, it's Mushu, the whale who thinks he's better than all of you.
I remember that.
It's a good show. I miss Futurama.
That episode had a lot of just really good jokes in it.
Oh, like Futurama was filled with just brilliant one-liners.
Oh yeah. Fucking half.
I like Death by Snooze.
And everything Zap
Dude, Death by
Brannigan says
Snooze
is amazing.
Death by
Have you seen the videos that are like Zap, the voice actor that plays Zap Brannigan reads out Trump?
They don't sound
tweets?
off. They sound exactly like something he'd say. I am the smartest man in this room because I know I'm the smartest man in this room.
Mark Hamill did a similar thing where it was the Joker reading out Trump
God.
tweets.
I'm surprised Hamill would do
It
Oh.
that.
was gold. Mark Hamill has such a great sense
has
of
a great
humor about
repertoire.
himself and like his
Oh
work.
yeah, but he really hates Trump. I feel like he
I've
probably
heard
would
nothing
do
negative
that.
about him.
Except for the time
Oh yeah,
that
you
he,
haven't heard anything negative about him because you haven't heard fucking Republicans complain about him constantly.
Wait, guys, did you hear about how he killed his father's body?
He killed his
He killed
father's
his-
what?
He what?
He killed his father's dad or his father's boss.
Are we talking about the same Mark Hamill?
Yeah, no, he killed his father's boss. His father's boss was the head of some
Is this a Star Wars bit? Are you doing a Star Wars bit right
Fuck
now?
off, Gavin. I thought you were being honest. Mark Hamill accidentally killed someone. It's wait, what?
I appreciate you guys. Thank you. I really had you there for a second. I know I did.
It's oh, I'm interested now. This is getting somewhere.
He killed his father's boss. He just was hey, man.
Also, he didn't kill his father's boss.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, his father killed
No,
his father's
father
boss.
attempted to murder his boss, but then
And then he indirectly killed his father
and then his
by taking his helmet
and then
off.
someone who stole his identity did it 1,000 years later. Identity theft is not a
More like
fucking
50,
joke,
but
Ray.
Yeah. I really like the moment of are we talking about the same Mark Hamill? That was so great. Highlight of my life, frankly.
Yeah, I was like, does he know a different Mark Hamill?
Mark Hamill, international assassin.
I know we don't always get the same references, but does it go this far?
Mark Hamill. They call him the ice cold murderer of France.
Guys, I hear he had an arch enemy who liked to dress like a bat. Sometimes.
God, I wish I had an arch enemy.
No, you don't. It's exhausting.
No, seriously, imagine how fun it would be, to just, go about your day, and then some guy in spandex runs up to you and,
It's
starts screaming.
Yeah, right?
You know what?
I want a rival. I want a Pokemon rival.
I will give you the opposite of that.
Someone that I can talk shit
I'm going
at.
to design an outfit that constricts my arms and legs in the same holes, and I will charge at you screaming constantly.
I feel like that's nowhere near related to what I was
That's why I
talking
said I'm
about.
not going to give you anything related to that. I said this will be the opposite of that.
I want to be the villain who takes the insult a little bit too far, where it's haha, try catching me now, you have Down syndrome. And then the other villains are whoa, man, hold on a second. You can't just say that.
Try catching me now,
It's like when people complain about Pennywise fat shaming.
Imagine like a supervillain who uses the N-word.
This movie villain is very problematic because they're transphobic.
It's like, yeah, they're a villain.
It's like, who knew that the bad guy
They're
was
literally
bad?
a murderer.
If
Yeah, but that's the
anything,
thing, Alex. Now, Tumblr
They would kill
can
that
write
person
weird
regardless.
fanfiction about him. He was misunderstood until he said gays were bad.
You know, when you mentioned Tumblr
Tumblr? You
fanfiction,
said
I
Tumblr?
got like an intense flashback to the Onceler fandom on Tumblr.
Why the fuck was that a thing? He's like the worst guy.
Jared, I know you know about
I know
this,
about it.
but I'm sure Gavin
I've
hasn't
not
heard
heard
of
it.
this.
During the release of the Lorax movie, that was garbage. I'd like to say they
I liked
they
it.
had
It's all
I
right.
didn't really like it at all. I just feel like all the song and dance kind of removed the.
Wow,
kinda just, like,
racist.
It just didn't work well.
It is a
Like, it's
bit
story
much at
about
times.
the dangers of deforestation and like extreme capitalism and shit like that, and everyone's
You have a
singing all the
point.
time.
I'm not
It's like,
willing to
what
defend
the
it that much.
Yeah, I just don't like it. And the Onceler is like in the book, he's like this gross green like monster guy that hides behind like his like fucking like cabinets and shit. And then in
the
this
new movie, they make him
decided
Zac
to make
Efron.
him yeah, basically. So then they have Tumblr thirsting over him, saying that he's just a misunderstood baby boy.
Wait, is he not?
And then
And
they
how
started-
they want him to fuck them.
They
Wait, is
started
he-
shipping him with people, but like there's no one that you can really ship him with without it being like weird or like unnatural. So they just started
Yeah.
shipping the Onceler with like the pre-Onceler, whatever his name was. I don't remember. But like
Okay,
the
I didn't
guy
know about
that
that
like
part, and that's hilarious.
you didn't know about this?
No, was it like the old man and his younger self?
This went on for years. So they actually drew a distinction between the Onceler, like ultra capitalist, like exploiting his workers and stuff, like that version of the character, and then the guy that just like made a couple of needs. And then they started shipping these two distinct characters, which are the same person, together.
I love the world sometimes, but most of the times I despise it.
I honestly have very
Oh.
confused feelings about that, because it's like, I guess let them do it, they're not hurting anyone, but like, should you be allowed to devote years of your life to that?
I feel like the Lorax should sing a song about this.
I feel like someone needs to sit down with these people and just be like, look,
Are you okay?
I
Get some help.
I get that your boyfriend dumped you, but like, you have the whole rest of 7th grade to get your life sorted out, and then you can move on and do bigger and better things. You know, you're better than this. Please stop
What if
writing
that-
Onceler
hold on.
fanfiction.
Wasn't the Onceler when he was like making like needs on him by himself? Wasn't he like 16 or something at that point? Was he an adult? You know, it doesn't make it any less creepy.
I think Tumblr has a policy actually where you're not allowed to write fanfiction unless it's about a child. Because most of the time fanfiction is about animated children. And that is so like odd. That's such an odd thing about the internet and about like just animation and animation fandom as a whole.
No, you have an excellent point though, Alex, because I didn't think about it up until now, but almost every single piece of erotic fanfiction features characters who are in their shows children, but then they either age them up or like there's something else about it that makes it okay.
Well, that's
I
like
use big
Avatar.
quotation marks, by the way.
It's
Yeah,
like Avatar where they make all the characters
they're
like
all 12, but they have the bodies of 18-year-old porn stars.
well, like Zuko, we were like 2 seasons in. I was watching with Haley. We were like 2 seasons in, and she was like
Takes off her
starting to
shirt, and you're
thirst
like,
after.
whoa, look at those cum gutters.
She was starting to thirst after Zuko, and I was like, hold
He's
off
12.
on that. He's 16 in the show, and she's like, what? Like, because they have all of these characters voiced by like full ass adults, except for like Aang and Toph. But like
The other ones are
Katara,
kids.
she's like like Katara, Sokka, all of them except for Aang and Katara, or except for Aang and Toph, they all like seem like they're in their 20s.
Yeah.
So then people get it in their heads like, oh yeah, I can make all kinds of fan fiction about them. But then like you look at their wiki page and they're all like 14.
Children.
Yeah.
So, like,
Azula
they're
is
just getting
14
into middle
and she has
school.
so many people thirsting after her and saying like that they want her to do stuff to them.
I don't understand why everyone likes Azula nowadays. She is literally, like, there's no, like, misunderstood character about her. That's like going up to the kid that skinned cats when he was in high school and be like, he's just a misunderstood kid. He's a fucking degenerate. It's like,
I
no,
guess.
there's something wrong with him. He
But no,
needs
like
help.
Azula is the reason that so many guys thirst after toxic women, and she's like the cause for so many like domination complexes.
I mean,
And,
I wouldn't
like,
go that far.
I would.
Like-
a lot of people
like-
grew up with this show, and a lot of people ended up with different forms of sexual deviance.
But like,
Now, you see,
what is
I feel
sexual
like I was
deviance?
okay,
like, what do you
because I
call
never,
that?
like-
Well, Jared, you're asexual.
I'm not asexual. Why does everyone keep saying that? I just don't have a very high sex drive.
Just, it'll all go away if you stop turning me down.
Oh my god.
You sound like a
virginity?
rapist.
Virginity is my passion.
My
But
mom texted me. She was like, "Hey, do you want a burger?"
I feel
And I'm
like I'm the only one that didn't turn out like with a weird thing related to that show.
I mean, I wasn't old enough to really like understand. I just like watching Aang like fight and stuff. That was about it. I thought it was.
Have you
no.
watched it since then?
I've
Yeah.
been trying to. I just can't find a platform that has it. I know Netflix does. I just I don't have a Netflix
Oh yeah, I
account.
forgot you don't have Netflix.
Yeah.
How do you not have
How?
Netflix? How have you
You
gone
used-
this long?
You're a millennial in this day and age without Netflix? How do you cope
Gen
with
Z.
life?
We are
I'm
Gen
sorry,
Z,
you're a
Jared.
Zoomer
Don't betray our generational identity.
Okay, the problem with that though is, Alex, is if I call us Zoomers, like, we're not screaming about murdering politicians yet. However,
I do it in my free time.
I do it in my sleep. I would fuck politicians.
Ooh, what?
Like, hate fuck.
That makes more sense because there's only like 8 attractive politicians.
Okay, Justin Trudeau. Yes, I'd fuck that man.
I don't know who that man
And
is.
that's what I'm saying. Justin Trudeau is your 3%. Most
Shit.
most men
Oh,
are
shit, you're
97% straight.
Oh
Except
shit.
for that
like, not
little
really, though.
sliver
I
of
would
3%.
not like if Justin Trudeau
I
was
would
like,
let
"Oh,
Danny
hey, dear."
DeVito crawl up my
Like
asshole.
if Justin Trudeau came up to me and was like, "Hey, dear," like, "Hey, do you want to like stick your penis?" In my... I'd be like, "No, I don't, Justin." Honestly,
But get a few
I
drinks
don't.
in you.
That's rape.
No, because like you would be like looking at him and you'd be a bit buzzed and you'd be like, maybe it's
kinda
not so
like a
bad if I just
girl.
try it out.
Are you just assuming that because I'd be drunk that I would want to fuck Justin Trudeau?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was obvious.
I have no comment.
I wouldn't because I don't like his policies and I'm very much policy oriented.
I'm really policy oriented. So if you
I sexually identify
That's
as a
what
Democrat.
polysexual means, right?
I thought that just meant you like
God fucking
birds,
damn.
man. I appreciate you guys.
We love you,
I think-
Gavin. It's good to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think XCOM might have did some shit to me.
What?
Nothing.
Hey, what's dedoxing, by the way? I don't know what that is.
It's when you dedicated denial of service, unless you're talking about just doxing, which is just you steal someone's like information, which isn't hard to do online. You just look up their name and find their government address, and then you just show it to the world.
Yeah, you kind of combine DDoS and doxing.
So I guess it's both. You're denying them service by showing off where they live. I don't know how that works, but
That's all I need.
There's your definition.
Let's Google it right now.
DDoS.
Jared was right about doxing. That's where you leak someone's personal information. DDoS is so
dedicated denial of service. It's when you flood someone's website to the point where you can't use it anymore. People use bots for it, or 4chan uses themselves.
But 4chan just exists.
4chan is like the Red Army of Stalin, even though they refuse to acknowledge that they are basically Stalinites. They are literally quantity over quality. It doesn't matter if the meme's good. All what matters is you can spam it like a motherfucker.
I don't get the idea. I don't get like the comparison there. Like, what does spamming have to do with motherfucking?
Okay, like you just wouldn't get it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you'd have to be there.
Have you ever
It's one of those
been in a
things,
Google
or
Plus
like
raid before? I've been in a Google Plus raid. I was there on the beaches when we saw the towers fall. I was there, Gavin.
God,
okay.
Every day I try to forget Google Plus.
I can't. I had so many stupid fun times on that just by fucking with people.
I was on
Didn't
Google
they, like-
Plus when I was at my cringiest.
Like, didn't
Yeah.
they like force people to get Google Plus accounts?
Yes. And then they accidentally stole all your information.
If you had like a YouTube account or like a Gmail, then you'd have to have the Google Plus account. It just kind of came with your Google account.
That's just stupid.
The problem with Google Plus, though, is I think 4 years ago they had a data breach and everyone's information was stolen.
That's
Yeah,
the god I
probably.
know.
It was so poorly implemented. Like they tried to like tie it to YouTube and stuff, and it was just, it was weird. Like I remember like every time I would comment on a video, it would post on Google Plus, and then people could either like reply to the comment on YouTube or comment on the Google Plus post, and it was just a mess. I like the way it is now, where Google Plus is dead, and I wish it was always like that.
Yeah, the only thing that upsets me, though, is Google Plus was so easy to have raids on, because there was communities for every kind of thing. No matter how degenerative it was or not.
So
Or
I'm not
normal.
very in touch with that side of the internet. What is a raid in that context?
It's basically
Unless
a
you're talking
DDoS
about Raid
except
Shadow
if you like
Legends.
12.
You know, if that, you
Basically,
can
it's
go
a
to hell.
12-year-old's idea of a DDoS in which they just spam websites with shit tier posts, like shit tier cringy memes, and like the thing they used a lot during raids were images, because there was no like limit on Google Plus. Like the image that's posted is the full image. You see it no matter the size of it. One thing that people would do is they would make these extremely long images and shit, and I forget the sizes of them, but they were huge. They were like gigantic, and when you would post one, and it would take out an entire but a community, because it would just
Jeez.
a mile long line, takes you an hour to get to the bottom, back to where there's normal posts. Most of it's just I want to see if I can find some memes to show you, because they're all like shitty memes. Like they're not good memes, and most of them are kind of offensive, but that's the kind of shit that you'd use in a raid.
See,
This
my
is what
experience
12-year-old
on Google
Jared
Plus
did.
was I was very heavily involved in like the atheist side of Google Plus, with like all kinds of like memes about how like religion is dumb, which it is, but like we were really obnoxious about it.
Yeah.
And I look back on those days getting into arguments with strangers over religion, and I just wonder, where did the time go?
Yeah. No, I feel ya. I type in raid memes and see if I can find them. I think it's just gonna be
Now
Raid
I'm a
Shadow
bit
Legends.
more mature. I get into arguments with strangers about grown-up things like politics.
Yeah, we digressed from religious intellectuals to political intellectuals.
See, I've been like lately I've been pretty good about not getting into arguments online. Like every time I'm about to reply to something on Twitter or like Instagram or whatever, I'm like, will this make my day significantly worse? And the answer is usually yes. So I just don't say anything, and I'm like, I'm not going to change anyone's mind. This is just going to waste my time and theirs.
Yeah.
But in the last couple days, I have been slipping on that. I got into a couple of arguments in Instagram comments, like on meme pages.
Yeah.
And it just, it didn't take up too much of my time. It didn't go on for like days or anything, but still, I don't know. I feel like it's bad for my mental health because I'm like,
oh, yeah.
waiting for them to reply, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to destroy them. And it's like, why do I do this to myself?
Yeah,
like it ruins me so much, and it like takes up my night, and it's never worth it, because no one's ever like, you know what, yeah, that's a good point, I should change my entire worldview
overnight. Yeah.
So I gave you guys a show. This is what you'd use in furry and Sonic fan communities. Like,
that's beautiful. So for the listeners, so do you want to describe it for the listeners, Jared?
It's a picture of a stock image noose with a poorly drawn Sonic in there. It says, "Hey, come on, dudes, the portal's this way." It implies that you should hang yourself to meet Sonic, and we sent those to 12-year-olds when we were all 12. Rating was a very toxic thing that I don't do anymore, but I still remember what I did. And
see, that's why the age minimum for social media is 13.
I do look back on it, and I do get a smile on my face, because those were like, that was my Omaha Beach. The things we did, the horrors we committed.
You're such a war hero, Jared.
I'm a criminal.
Hey, Jared, I never thought I'd be saying this to you, but thank you for your service.
Thank you. No,
thank you for your service in the meme wars.
One of the things that I did for my raid group was I would make a fake account and join those groups, because again, Google Plus had like shit for security on anything. You could sneak in just by making an account, taking a PNG that's related to that, throwing it on there and saying, like, Sonic fan number 69 or some shit like that. And these people would believe you. And what I would do is I'd go in, I'd butter them up, I'd get to, like, an admin position, and then I'd let the floodgates in.
You know what I just got another, like, flashback to?
Yeah?
I remember, like, stumbling across, like, roleplay groups on Google Plus.
Oh,
and there were, like...
we rated the most.
There were communities of like South Park role players where like their profile is like, "Hey, I'm Stan Marsh," or "Hi, I'm Kyle, what's his name?" And like I got so like invested in these worlds that like I kind of like to a degree forgot that these were just like people with a lot of free time. And I was just like, Cartman, you got to stop like hating on Jews so much. And I felt like I was making a difference.
I do have a story about those too. I would rate a lot of them, but there were a couple that I did actually join and were a part of. The biggest one being a Fallout RP group. And yeah, that was the thing I did when I was in not middle
Which
school.
Which vault were you in?
Grade. I wasn't a vault. I was a Brotherhood of Steel Knight.
Of course you were.
I like the Brotherhood of Steel. They're cool. It's just in Fallout 4 they became actual like Nazis. So, but
yeah, Jared, I gotta say you're being really problematic right now.
Little Jared was a completely different person to Big Jared. Little Jared probably would have been on some very like not okay to other people's sites. Like, I don't know, that sounds wrong. Let me reword that. I would have probably been on 4chan. I probably would have visited 4chan a lot when I was younger. Oh god, this came out in 2015. Yeah, no, fucking that went on for a while. Holy shit, 3 years. I was 15, and I think that was like the last time I was in it was because I had a role play with a guy who was pretending to be Paladin Dance, the Fallout 4 companion for the Brotherhood of Steel. And halfway through it just got really like not what I was hoping it was gonna be like. I never thought you could rape someone over a text message, but I guess you can.
What?
I never consented to sexual RPs, but people would always like start them up, and I feel like that kinda is like just
Nuzzles, ooh woo, what's this?
No, more like they actually raped me, and it was like I don't like this. Why would you do this?
Jared, check your DMs.
Please don't. You're bringing back very bad memories. I'm gonna have to assault those furries. Rapes you? Yeah, basically. No, like they were fucking just weird. Like some of the shit that you'd get. So yeah, roleplay groups. I'm so happy most of those are gone now because holy shit. As someone who used to be like in one of them, those are disgusting.
Well,
like,
now
like some
they've
guys
evolved.
who are like, well, yeah, you get D&D groups, but like some of those people, like,
what I'm talking about is Jared.
persistent.
You and I are both members of that Facebook group, a group where we
ants
all
one?
pretend to be ants in an ant colony.
Okay, here's the difference between that though. Is like where that one's like it's just dumb fun. Like these ones are like people are like, oh, let's make our own stories in these universe, and that's like it's cool from the outside, but then you get fucking degenerates that join.
Look,
them
I
and
know
stuff
it's a
like
joke
that.
to you, Jared, but to me, it is a way of life. Pretending to be an ant in an ant colony and addressing everyone as ant, whatever their name is, and saying things like "bite" when I see things that I don't like.
You know, here's the thing that's going to be disconcerting to you, Alex. There is a subculture of furries that are bug furries.
Why do you tell me these things?
Because I have been on the internet. I have seen through the doors of time and space. I know things, Alex. I don't want to know them, but I have to. Because if I don't, then who? Who will bear these
the burden
burdens?
of knowledge, Alex. Knowledge.
It's the burden of knowledge. We all must suffer in the pursuit of science.
Atheists call it, we have the burden of knowledge.
Yeah, we're so edgy.
Oh God. Yeah, no, that's a thing that exists.
It's like if you feel so burdened, then stop learning.
I don't know.
It's like Loki. I am burdened with glorious purpose. I can't do the voice.
Some
I'm
reason,
so
though-
bad at voices.
Yeah, man, stop. Fuck
For
me.
some reason, though,
I shouldn't
from
even
the-
have my own voice. I don't deserve it.
Just cut it out, man.
You're right.
Just cut out your vocal.
Remove your throat. But no,
Do
like
what
speaking about
Smoker-
those guys, though.
Do what smokers
it's
do. Dude.
weird.
Just remove your throat.
It's weird though, because those guys are like, I don't know, they're just like the most quiet one. Like you don't get like cringe shit from them all the time.
Oh,
It's like,
the
you don't
bug
hear about
furries.
them. Yeah, it's weird. Because then like all the other ones, like that's all you get. And like these guys are like the silent, like fucking like little group in the corner. It's like I don't get it. There had to have been something about them. You can't tell me there's been like this subsection of the most like well-known degenerate group, and it has had this hidden sect this whole time. There's got to be dirt on them, Alex. I want to know what that information is, even if it hurts to find out.
I don't think that's a rabbit hole you want to go down.
Don't use that. Don't say that. That's not a good
Sorry,
expression.
I don't think that's an
for what we're
ant colony
talking-
you want to go down.
Also not good. But
Bite.
God damn it. But yeah, no. So that was a thing I learned about that just shocked me to my fucking core. It's like, what? Do you mean there's more horrible things on the internet? Tell me. I need to know. God will never let me be free of my pain until I know all of the horrible things. Which is something I found out a while ago when I decided to make a Tumblr page. I deleted it. And also the app. But I thought it would be a nicer place. It's not. It's still just the same old Tumblr that we all love to know about. But when I got it, I followed a bunch of the things I follow on Facebook to try and get like a general idea of like getting the stuff I want to see. And the way Tumblr works is there are tags, and you have to follow specific tags, and it will show you recent or like popular things from those tags that will show up and stuff. And a long time ago, not so much anymore. When I was younger, I was into this thing called mocking, MOC. And what it is it's a thing that people who are like enthusiastic about Bionicle and Lego would do, where they make their own like shit out of stuff, and they just like show it to people, like pictures of it. And like they get like really in depth and creative with some of the shit they make. Like there's a guy I follow on Twitter right now who is trying to remake all of the movie versions of the characters, like in real life, and he's doing like a really fucking awesome job with it because they all look exactly like they do in the movie. But I digress. The thing that I found out on Tumblr though is there is a subsection of that group that they make Bionicle porn.
All right, I could have done without that, but
that is a real thing that exists.
And with that, you have been listening to Bold of You to Say.
I just want to address this though, that this thing exists, and I don't know why it exists. Who is it for? Who?
People that are really into Bionicle, apparently.
Yeah, but how? How?
Jared, I think you're thinking about this too much.
I am, because I don't understand. I found this shit on Tumblr, and I went on a goddamn rabbit hole site search, and it took me all across the internet, and I learned so much about this, and I don't like that I did that. I don't get anything about it, but there's a lot of it. And people who do get it don't talk about it, because they get
Jared,
angry when you ask.
Jared, you wouldn't understand, being asexual and all.
Fuck off! Alex, would you fuck a Bionicle?
No.
Personally, I would not, because they are far too small and very jagged.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good point. But
I might get injured in the process.
Hold on. Give me a second. I need to get an image real quick.
Oh god, you don't have to do that.
We don't need. We don't need examples.
Yeah, I
it's
feel
not
like
an example.
I feel like we get
you
the
to
idea.
Answer a simple question, Alex.
The answer is already no. I haven't even gotten what you're gonna send me, but like, the answer is already no.
Check the host chat.
Oh, Jared, why
Answer
did you have
question.
to?
I'm not gonna look.
That's the most tame thing, okay?
So for Gavin and the other listeners, it is a Bionicle with a very large phallic-looking object attached to their lower torso.
This is a thing that exists, and I hate that I know that it does. And now you all have to. You all know the pain I have. Know this. People got weird with Legos.
Well, at least it's Bionicle, so it's the grown-up Legos.
But it's not just Bionicle, though. You ever see custom minifigures?
Not the kind that you look up.
I didn't look. Okay, that is kind of a lie, because I did say this was a rabbit hole search that sent me all over the internet, so I did have to type some stuff in. But it does exist, and I didn't want to know it existed, but now I do. I know I will not show examples, because, even I have standards. They're very low, but even I have standards.
So that last one that you just sent, that fit within your standards?
Not really, no.
That Bionicle with a penis, that was your standards? Just a simple yes or no, Jared.
No. However, I needed you to see
Then why
an
did you feel the
example.
need to show us?
So you can see it! So you can know that that is a thing!
I really didn't need to know that, but
I want you to know. I want the world to know.
you know, we really didn't have to find out about that.
I didn't want to. I just thought it'd be a cool
Why do we
thing to
have
see.
to?
Why did you have to? Because I can't let the world die not knowing that this exists and that there are people like this. We need to rally against them.
And with that, you have been listening to Bold of You to Say.
Turn off their Amazon access.
Let's close out the show before Jared tells us more things that we will regret.
I'm not done yet.
You're not done yet.
I'm never done. My work is never finished. Nah, actually, I am done. There's nothing else I want to say other than please avoid any tags on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook that have the word Bionicle in it. Also, for good measure, avoid Halo 2. Not Halo 2 the game, but Halo also. Because for some reason, the Facebook communities on Halo are all like full of feet fetishists.
Okay.
Kind of sounds like the producers of Nickelodeon. Haha, got him. Dan Schneider reference in 2020. Got him.
I went and followed a Facebook group called Halo Plasma Posting, because, you know, it's a joke on shit posting. And half the memes were talking about how they wanted to see Cortana's feet. And I don't know if they were being serious or not. At first I thought it was a joke, but then I read the comments, and it just kind of got weird.
Okie dokie.
Nothing is safe on the internet. Everything is going to die. This is it.
Jared, look at the
Good
last
night,
Reddit
everybody.
link that I sent you.
Oh no. What is it? I'm scared. Cringetopia?
Yeah, it's on r/cringetopia, and I want you to read the post.
Oh god.
And this is about a what appears to be a Fortnite skin.
That is a Fortnite skin. You can tell from the background.
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. But Jared, just read it out loud.
I just gagged a little bit. I saw one part of it, and it actually is disgusting me. Guys, I'm literally fucking shaking. Since Mayhem is an apocalypse-themed skin, that means she's had not taken a bath in a long time. This means her feet must smelled incredible. Imagine all the time in those boots. My mouth is watering. I just can't handle. And it's got a bunch of like heart eyes emojis.
That's my revenge on you for showing me that Bionicle with the giant dick.
There were other like choices. I gave you the most okay one.
That's sad. That makes me feel
It is
sad
sad.
inside. I feel little to no hope for humanity now. Thank you for that,
Yeah.
Jared.
I'm sorry. It gets even worse though. There are people who do that with the Gundam build your own mech things. Like, some of them are cool, but then it's like, hey, look, I made it. This one has huge tits. It's like, why?
All right, well, we can cover that maybe on the next episode or like
Let's
never.
never
I don't
cover
know.
this again, okay? I just want everyone in the world to know that there are things about the universe that are very not good, and we just need to stop it. This is my call to action. Kill Bionicle.
Thank you for listening to Bold of You to Say. If you like the show, be sure to like and subscribe and share and comment and all that stuff. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, you can leave us a review in-app. If you're watching on YouTube, then leave a comment with what you'd like us to cover next on the show. Share with your friends. The show is on every podcast platform. Even the ones that no one uses. Jared, do you have anything to plug?
I would like to issue a formal apology.
All of
to
our
the
social
universe.
media will be linked in the description. I'll have my Twitter and Instagram and my TikTok. Jared's Twitter will be in the description. Gavin, would you
still gotta change my handle.
I don't really want to connect anything at this point in time.
All right.
So,
Gavin's information will remain withheld.
He doesn't want to be connected to the Bionicles.
I just heard the Bionicle thing, and I was like, you know what? If I get a job and they're like, so you're on this podcast, you can talk about Bionicle. What do you have to say for yourself? Like,
At that point, I'll just be proud that we have more listeners.
Yeah, I think I may have killed our listener base. I'm sorry, boys.
And with that, this has been bold of you to say. We are signing off. Goodbye.
Goodbye.